Well, this is really remarkable. We first talked with Mark Bradley Morrow. He has a master's degree in counseling. And our return guest today, Sheila Harper, she has a master's degree.
Yes.
So these are smart and educated people. Sheila founded SaveOne in the year 2000. And look how God has blessed it. The favor of God has kissed it, because now they are in some 25 or more countries, over 300 chapters. It is amazing. And Mark just shared with us one of the things that Sheila has in SaveOne is a men's curriculum who have gone through abortion.
And she
I'd
helped
never
him.
heard of that.
Yeah, she helped him in his life. Yeah.
So let's welcome back Miss Sheila, who's written 10 books. We got some of them here today. So let's first talk about, why did you start SaveOne?
Well, the whole organization was born out of my own abortion pain. I went through an abortion in 1985 and spent 7 years. My life just unhinged. And I finally found my way to a Bible study, much like the one SaveOne offers now. And it totally changed my life, and I haven't been able to be quiet about it since then. And so in 2000, we started the program.
Okay, at some point you met Mark and his wife. Can you remember back at that moment and what happened?
Yes.
Because we've heard his story, so pick up on that.
Well, he called and left a message at our office. And the message was kind of like, hey, we, I've had these abortions and I've tried all these curriculums. And so I found yours. I thought I'd try it. I mean, it was like just this attitude. And so I called him and I said, hey, we're here, we'll help you. And he didn't really have much hope that anything was going to happen for him. So I don't even think I charged you for the book. I said, well, we'll just send you the book. And,
He should pay up today.
That's right.
All right, so Sheila, tell us, because I want to get this all in.
Yes.
Give us an overview of SaveOne for our viewers, because I know many are going to want to either utilize it or recommend it.
Well, we started in 2000. I wrote the women's curriculum, just a Bible study, because that was all I thought needed abortion recovery. And then men started asking to go through the women's program. And then that's when I knew men suffer after abortion as well. And so then my husband and I collaborated and wrote the men's study. But then we started having family members, people who drove someone to the abortion clinic 20 or 30 years ago who were suffering, that wanted to go through the program. So then I wrote a third Bible study called The Ripple Effect, and they all mirror each other. So churches and pregnancy centers can offer the Bible study for anyone who is abortion wounded, and they can find healing through Jesus Christ.
Fantastic.
So Mark, what was different about this that really helped facilitate healing in your life and your wife's life?
Well, apparently Sheila has brought to the studio today my actual journal. I gave it to her as a gift, and I just loved.
The only time anybody.
Hey, we could read Mark's secrets right there.
Right?
I don't care. I'm an open book, right?
It's really
And that's now an open book.
This is my first time to actually hold this in my hand since 2007, when my daughter Ricky and I met Sheila and her husband Jack at the pancake place in Nashville, Dallas, Tennessee. And I just scooted it over to her, and I said, I just want to thank you for that gift, because I'm healed now. And that's the first time I've held that in my hand.
But Joni's question, how was it different? How was it better?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I just like the hardness of it. It was a man's study guide, and you know what? It's biblically based, and it's 10 chapters. And I like what she said in the beginning. Just take your time with it. There's no rush on this. And so there's many study guides for men, not many, but there's a handful of men's post-abortion study guides. But for me, SaveOne's is the best.
So was it you being able to write in it?
I was able to write in it. I drew some pictures in it, and it just allowed me. There's journaling pages, and so it went from my mind and my heart right through my arm, and I was just able to get rid of that.
So that's like therapy or a rehab, if you will.
Definitely for me.
Yeah, a lot of men kind of shriek back when we say there's journal pages at the end of every chapter, and we encourage them to journal. And I think he kind of like pulled back, but by the end, he's like writing in the margins, like he's filled up every journal page.
Fantastic.
It's awesome.
So, there's probably men that you're hesitant about this. You probably have never written before. But if you ever tried this, it could just unlock something so wonderful. And then think about this, if you started journaling about positive things about your wife, about your children, about your grandchildren, and then we're able to share that. What a treasure. It can unlock then them being able to put in words their feelings, their thoughts, their situations. Johnny?
So, Mark, have you thought about those 4 children that you will see them again one day? Have you thought about what happens to aborted children?
It always comes to my mind around Mother's Day, around Father's Day. Well, you have a daughter named Rachel, correct?
Yes.
And she was conceived in 1989?
Yeah.
I read that on your website, and it instantly took me back. I had 2 babies conceived in 1989, so I should have a couple of children that
I had a son in 1985. And then Rachel was conceived in
So
1989.
it instantly
and then
made me
Rebecca
think,
in
I
92.
should have children your daughter's age. And then you had the grandchild out.
Yeah.
And then I, like, just moments ago, I'm like, wow. So it never stops, but I'm good.
Yeah.
But it never stops. There's always consequences to our actions.
Exactly.
Okay, so Sheila, I know there's got to be many great testimonies. Could you share one or two?
Oh, sure. One of the main ones that I like to tell about is my friend Donna. She's been with me since 2000. And she came through the program and dealt with her abortion. Couldn't even say the word abortion when she came to our class. But she dealt with it and then told her family. Her daughter, as a teenager, came to her and said, years later, and said, I'm pregnant. And she wasn't married. And she said, but I saw what abortion did to you, and I knew I could never have an abortion, even though all my friends are telling me that's what I should do. And so I love that because that's exactly the power behind abortion recovery, because if Donna had not gotten healed, she would never have told her family. And because she did and told her family, she saved the life of her own grandchild.
Fantastic.
And so now she has a 12-year-old grandchild that's beautiful.
Okay, so for our viewers, tell us again about the resources available through SaveOne. What can they expect?
Absolutely. Well, if you go to SaveOne.org, you can sign up for one of our online classes, but we offer Bible studies through the men's, the women's, and the ripple effect for anyone who is abortion wounded. If your life has been impacted by this issue, we have healing for you. We can do either a one-on-one class via Zoom, so we can do this anywhere in the world, or we can get you into a local chapter if there's one near you. But what we want to do is just open our arms to people who want to come anonymously. It's 100% confidential, and we just want you to be healed because we believe this is the greatest deterrent to abortion that we have, is the truth, is getting the people who know the truth in our communities telling that truth.
And I just feel a word from the Lord. There are people in other countries that you need to contact SaveOne, not only for help you might receive, but to start a chapter in your country, in your city. So there is the website. Johnny?
So Mark, can you share maybe a moment as you were going through this Bible study and journaling, that when the light was shown on the darkness, that you saw something that you had not seen before when you were caught up in making these bad decisions?
Well, like I said, it's been 14 years since I've written in it, but I think it was just a whole conglomeration of chapter by chapter by chapter, the way that God led Sheila to write this men's study guide, all biblically based, and the journaling. It was the complete package for me.
And let me just add that Sheila's husband was a very successful pastor for many years, and he's very much involved in this. So it is a strong, successful, biblical-based program that will help you. And I love that it can be Zoom anywhere in the world, or it can be online, and it can be confidential. And it's a proven winner. The fact that there are over 300 chapters in 25 or more countries shows you the blessing and the favor of God. Johnny?
So a lot of people are responding. Here's someone calling from Arizona. Thank you for ministry now on the show today. It's helped me a lot. I had 2 abortions when I was younger. The clinic lied to me and said the babies would not feel any pain. What are some of the lies about abortion, Sheila, that people don't know?
Well, two things come to mind. One is we're slowly seeing more people who suffered through chemical abortions, where the Planned Parenthood or the clinic told them, oh, it'll just be like some cramps. You know, you'll just go home and have an abortion in the privacy of your own home. And I promise you, the trauma is 10 times greater because they become the abortionists themselves. And this is happening in their home, and they don't have anyone to turn to or to help them. And so that is a lie from the pit of hell, that this is an easier thing to do.
Is that when they like take a pill and
Yes.
it aborts the baby and they do it at home? They
Right.
have no idea what they're getting into.
Right.
Yeah.
And then another lie is that no one tells you of, and Mark alluded to it, the regret or the consequences that stay with you. I am 55 years old and I don't have grandchildren. I should have a 35-year-old daughter. She probably would have had grandchildren by now. My arms ache to hold grandchildren. And no one tells you that part when you're 18, 19 years old.
You know, probably another thing is that many women suffer physically, and later they're either unable to get pregnant or they're very susceptible to miscarriages or to early births. So there's so much more to it that they never tell you.
You know, I didn't share this yesterday, but we have a producer here that is a young man, and we just called to see for ourselves to a Planned Parenthood how they would respond to this narrative. And he basically said, I'm 26 years old and I got my 16-year-old girlfriend pregnant. And well, the Texas Planned Parenthood said, well, we can't do that in one day because you're in a red state. It'll take a couple days to get an abortion, but you can go to New Mexico. So they called New Mexico. They told the same narrative, which again, that's underage. You're supposed to be reported by law.
That's right.
Said the same thing. I'm 26. My girlfriend's 16. You know, can we get an abortion? And they said, well, does she want an abortion? And he said yes. And he said, they were like, come on, we'll do it. I mean,
no questions
the
asked.
things that happen in Planned Parenthood, no one knows how dark, do they, Sheila?
That's right. Absolutely.
And the
would be
motivation
appalled.
overwhelmingly is money. Money, money, money. They don't really care about the girls. They have quotas. It's like selling products. It's a big business.
That's right.
And the thing that's so ridiculous, and it should make everybody mad, your tax dollars go to fund Planned Parenthood.
Absolutely.
Your tax dollars go to murder the unborn. But again today, if you've gone through that, the Lord loves you. He can heal you. We don't sit in condemnation, and neither does the Lord. He says, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. I'm going to lead us in prayer today. If you need prayer, you can still call the number. You can still go to daystar.com and click on prayer. Our prayer partners will be standing by even after this program is over. Father, for everyone who's watched today, if they have been impacted in any way by this terrible thing called abortion, this lie from Satan, then I ask you to send healing. I ask you to send restoration. I ask you to renew your purpose in their life. And if somebody's facing this decision, help them to choose life in Jesus' name. We love you. We'll see you again. Go to SaveOne, and it'll be a blessing to you. Bye-bye for today.